Early wartime submarines and their alleged encounters with monsters of the sea. It would start back in 1915 with Captain Schmidt's German U-boat number 28. As they were making their way through turbulent waters, they would encounter a British steam freighter head-on. This freighter happened to be carrying a nice payload of British military equipment, from vehicles to artillery. So without hesitation, they fire on the ship, sinking it and its 61 crew members within 30 seconds. As the ship submerged, a large explosion happened while underwater. This would cause much debris and shrapnel to land on the German U-boat. To their surprise, as the Germans were trying to dodge the debris, something emerged from around the explosion. It was a massive sea monster with a triangle-shaped head, large teeth, and webbed feet. It would screech in pain and terrorize the U-boat for a short period of time, but before long it would die from its wounds, sinking to the bottom with the shrapnel. Next, we have the alleged encounter of German U-boat number 85. In 2016, when a group of engineers was laying electrical lines at the bottom of the Irish Sea, they discovered the remains of a World War I U-boat. Known for its alleged encounter, it was German U-boat 85. Their account would take place on April 30th, 1918. Captain and crew would be making their way through the Irish Sea looking for British enemies, when suddenly out of nowhere something would collide with the side of their sub. The loud bang and rattling would shake the entire crew, some of them even losing their footing. After making sure they didn't sustain any real damage, the captain would continue on high alert. There were no more occurrences for several minutes, when suddenly out of nowhere he would notice a large looming figure obscuring their path. Thinking it was a possible enemy, he would approach and lock on. This is when he would realize it was definitely no enemy sub. He would explain that you could see the creature's teeth glistening in the moonlight. The British ship HM Coreopsis was on patrol in the Irish Sea when they noticed a large German U-boat. Thinking it was odd that they didn't submerge, they realized it couldn't. As they prepared to fire, they noticed its dilapidated condition and the crew surrendering. The German crew couldn't get on the ship fast enough. Upon surrender, Captain Crack would tell their story. As they approached the looming figure in the sea, it would suddenly disappear in the depths as fast as they saw it. It would approach from the depths as if predator and prey, sinking its large teeth into the hull of the sub, delivering a bite that would pierce the steel. They would have to surface immediately, and that's when they would begin firing on and battling this beast. The fight would rage on for several minutes as this fearsome monster continuously attacked their sub. Eventually, using artillery, they would wound the beast. It would finally swim away. He figured the beast to be 100 feet in length. This encounter at sea would be one of the most mysterious of all time. Follow from what scientists really discovered at the depths of the Mariana Trench. A couple years prior to filmmaker James Cameron's 2012 solo dive into the Mariana Trench, a group of scientists would report a mysterious encounter they had while exploring her depths. Before the dive, they had picked up a massive anomaly on their radar. And even though they assumed it was a large gas cloud recently released from the bottom of the ocean, the lead oceanographer and his assistant were excited to take the dive. It was also noted that they were the only ones brave enough to. As they approached the large rounded anomaly, they begin hearing something. And they notice that as they're hearing the sound, they can feel the pressure of the water changing around them. "You sure you want to continue?" asked the oceanographer. "How could we not?" said his assistant, and they continue. They get within 100 feet of the anomaly, and they notice something metallic and shiny in the water. "What is that?" they say. That's when whatever it is lets out a loud screech like nothing they have ever heard before. You can literally feel the vibrations of the high-pitched screaming. Then suddenly, as soon as it started, it stops, and the anomaly has disappeared. The oceanographer looks over at his colleague, and her eyes are wide. "What's wrong?" he asks. The sound we were hearing and the pressure change that we were feeling before the screams was breathing. Alright y'all, the image above me has recently surfaced from the dark depths of the web, and it has the internet community buzzing. It seems to be a picture of a lone solitary sub traveling through the ocean, and it's completely unaware of the fact that this sea creature is following it. It's hard to make out exactly what it is, but it seems to have multiple limbs, and it is massive. Could this be one of the 86% of creatures unknown in the ocean? Could this creature have been the target of the recent 40,000-pound bomb set off in the Bermuda Triangle by the U.S. government? With the recent sinking of an Indonesian sub back in April that had been ripped into 3 pieces, it has people wondering what could be lurking in the depths of our oceans. It makes one wonder, with footage like the following, are the mythical creatures we once thought were folklore rising from the depths? Like and follow for more.